Hello and welcome to the 30-second drill. I am Josh Reese, and here with me today is my esteemed colleague, Shane Campbell.
How you going, Josh?
I am not doing too bad. How are you going, mate?
Are you going to ask me this week? I'm actually doing pretty well, thank you.
Yeah, because Detroit lost. I will ask you when they lose, but not when they win.
Won't be talking to me very often then.
As we do, I'm going to start with my 30-second overreaction for the week. Here we go. It's quite clear that Mac Jones and Tua are about the exact same guy, except one has weapons and an offensive coach, and one has nothing and a defensive coach. If you disagree with me, I hate you and you're not my best friend anymore. Josh Allen played so well, now everyone's going to pretend last week doesn't even exist. The Bengals should be worried as they've made a terrible decision to play a not fully fit Joe Burrow. Detroit are back to Detroiting. The Bears might enter my Cardinals bracket, but they still should be optimistic. Sack Staley now. Russ should be worried. The Vikings need to listen to me and me alone. And 3 teams undefeated in the NFC South hurts my head. Now, before you respond, if you choose to, I just want to say thank you to my mum and mother-in-law for being big fans of the podcast.
After that ridiculous comment on Mac and Tua being the same person, I'm not going to lie, I sort of blanked out on everything else you said. It could have been complete rubbish. If it was anything to do with what you just said then, no one else should listen to it. They should start listening from now. Ridiculous comment. Tua would be much better than Mac in the Patriots offense. And Mac, that's just ridiculous, mate. You should be ashamed of that. And
absolutely,
I'd mute you if I could.
Glad I am technically the host of this then.
Oh,
but like I said, I now hate you and you're not my best friend. So
it's fine. I renounce being your friend after that take.
Well, that's too far.
All right, I'm going to kick things off. We have the Giants at the 49ers. So as far as the Giants go, they took a 21-point comeback to beat a team that doesn't even want to win. And I do not think they have any chance to win this game. I think the 49ers are going to blow them out. Wouldn't even be close. Ayuk may miss this week because he got banged up a little bit last week. But if you're going to take a game off, the Giants is probably the game to do it. Purdy's doing what he needs to do, and I think he'll keep rolling this week.
I agree with all of that. I would not be very happy if I was a Giants fan. They have been utterly pathetic. They took a team throwing the game to actually beat them. As for the 49ers, they're undefeated in the regular season with Christian McCaffrey, and they are just a juggernaut right now. Brock Purdy looks like their perfect quarterback, and if he can stay fit, I don't know who's going to stop this team. They are just absolutely rolling, and I wouldn't be worried that Ayuk's missing out this week. Now we are moving on to everyone's favorite topic, the Patriots at the Jets. So from the 5 quarterbacks taken in the draft that Mac Jones was taken, there's Trevor Lawrence, who's going to get the bag. And then you also have Mac Jones, who will also be given a bag, maybe not a big one. All the other 3 quarterbacks in that first round, they'll be discarded. Mac Jones is 6th for passing yards and 4th for touchdowns and leads the league in completions. He's doing good. It's just they're making stupid, unpatriot-like mistakes. I didn't mention the Jets because there's no point.
Who are you taking?
Oh, sorry. I'm taking the 49ers in the previous game, and I'm taking the Patriots.
Excellent. The only bag Mac Jones deserves to get is one of those plastic bags from Coles. That's all he should deserve to get. I'm not going to lie. As far as the Jets go, they're going to have to hold teams to 10 points. That offense, even though they've got Garrett Wilson and drawing a blank on the running back, help me out, Breece Hall. Zach Wilson is playing horrendous football. I do not think he could have got worse with Aaron Rodgers mentoring him, but he has. Mac Jones still sucks, but they're going to win this game. Right. And another thing, Josh, this is going to be the first and last time all season the Pats have an advantage at quarterback. It might even just be the last time ever. Because I think Zach Wilson will be dropped by the next time they play. And even if he's not, he will probably be better than Zach. So enjoy it.
Oh, thanks,
Tom Brady,
mate.
he's not coming back.
Oh, not for those weapons, he's not.
He's not.
Now, before we go any further, because we got some feedback from another lovely Detroit fan, Pat, the current head-to-head between Shane and myself is Shane is on 21, right? And I am on 19. So I just thought I'd drop that in there for Pat, another Detroit fan. Let's move on.
I've got this one.
Yep.
Okay, start the clock again.
Oh, okay. I don't think we need to, but
All right, we have the Colts at the Ravens. Richardson is still in concussion protocol for the Colts. They're not going to win regardless of what happens with him, but hopefully he pulls through. Hopefully he just makes it back on the field. It is not life-threatening. The Ravens are doing what they need to do. I don't think they've looked amazing, but a good enough win against the Bengals, despite the fact they tried to blow it. But I do have the Ravens winning this one.
I also have the Ravens winning this one. The Colts are looking pretty nice. They're looking like they'll be good over time, but the Ravens will roll them. They'll get to 3-0. The Ravens, I think, are getting better and better as they progress. And with Lamar at quarterback, I'd be confident that they are now 2 wins ahead of the Bengals, and they'll take that division. And they'll be trying to eye off the number 1 seed for the AFC now. So we're going to move on to Titans at the Browns. The question now becomes, did the Titans win because Brandon Staley sucks, or are they still pretty good? Ryan Tannehill, there's so many question marks at him at quarterback. With the Browns, the same situation, really. There's question marks around Deshaun Watson. Is he any good anymore? Both teams, this is really interesting. I'm picking the Titans, but not with confidence.
I'm also taking the Titans in this one. I think Titans are just really well coached. Good team apart from the quarterback. I think I said that last week, but yeah, just much better coached team. So we'll be taking the Titans. As far as the Browns go, Nick Chubb going down out for the year. That's devastating for them. And with Deshaun Watson, he is playing like a bottom 5 quarterback on one of the best quarterback deals in history. So he needs to step it up. I don't think he can. I think he's past it. Titans to win this one.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. We are now going to move on to Broncos at the Dolphins, and you can take it away.
All right. So as Josh said, Broncos at Dolphins. Broncos are we're going to say it every week. Sean Payton should have waited another year. Shouldn't have come back to Russell Wilson. Shouldn't have gone to Denver. Chargers' job was there waiting for him. They made a huge mistake. He's made a huge mistake. It's embarrassing, to be honest. As far as the Dolphins, they are super exciting. Love watching them. Great win last week over a pathetic Patriots side. I think Hill is looking probably to go for another 200 yards this week, and Tua could possibly look at beating Norm Van Brockman's 554 yards in a game passing. This is the game to do it.
Interesting. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, Sean Payton's return to football sucks because of the Broncos and Russ, and it's quite sad, to be honest. He gave $10 million to Jacoby Brissett to back up Russ, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see that guy sooner rather than later with the way Russ is playing. The Dolphins are the most entertaining team to watch right now. I'm looking forward to watching them tear apart the Broncos. I'm picking the Dolphins. We are moving on to the Bills at the Commanders. So Josh Allen did Josh Allen things, and this week he was entertaining, and he's a YouTube clip. They still won't win the AFC Championship, and they might not even win the division if Tua stays healthy. The Commanders, I don't know anyone who didn't know who Sam Howell was, except for me. They might need to stand up and take some notice, put some respect on this guy's name, because they are 2-0, and I'm picking the Commanders to roll the Bills because I don't back the Bills in against anyone.
I think Josh Allen will have a fair bit of success in the passing game this week, but if he tries to run, he better slide because that Commanders defense will light him up. And as we've learned anything from Josh Allen, he prefers to try and jump over people than slide. So he's going to get knocked around a fair bit this week. As far as the Commanders go, always been a big fan of Sam Howell. Don't know where you were coming from week 1 when you had to Google him. But since Eric Bieniemy has arrived at the Commanders, they are averaging 27.5 points a game, and the Chiefs have dropped to 18.5. So it wasn't Andy Reid. I am taking the Bills.
I like that. It's not Andy Reid. All right. Falcons at the Lions.
All right. Where to start? We'll start with the Lions because that's all everyone ever tunes in to hear. I love Dan Campbell's aggressiveness, and I think he just needs to pick his spots. Trying to steal a possession against the Chiefs week one, definitely required. Giving someone like the Seahawks, Smith, short fields, definitely came back to cost them, and they really need to clean up those fumbles. It was a very disappointing loss at home. They should be 2-0. As far as the Falcons go, what are they? 2-0, wild card possibility. I'm taking the Lions.
It's fair. I am going to start by saying I'm taking the Falcons. Desmond Ridder basically just did better than Jordan Love, and that's all he needed to do. With Bijan running that ball and how fast that guy is and his agility, they are sometimes exciting. But the Lions, that was a worrying sign. That was the Lions that I have known for the last few years. They do that stuff. They need to win this game. They cannot lose this game, but I'm still picking the Falcons in this one. And now we are moving on to the Saints at the Packers. So starting with the Saints, Carr doesn't really impress me. There was a lot talked about how he was going to be like this. They were going to be so awesome. I know they're 2-0, but they just haven't been impressive for me personally. However, this is who the Packers are. They're going to be okay. They're better than trash, which was the Bears, but they're pretty average. They need things to go right to beat teams like the Falcons, and that's just going to be their luck. If they want to stick with Love, that's going to be who they are going forward.
Who you got?
Oh, sorry. I have the Saints, despite slandering Carr.
I will also be taking the Saints. I think this is the best defense Carr has ever had. I know this is the best defense Carr's ever had. So I think he just needs to cut back on the turnovers. They'll be fine. He's got a plethora of talent at wide receiver with Olave and Michael Thomas. So just got to get them the ball and let them do the rest. Packers, Jordan Love doesn't look terrible, but the Packers fans need to get used to the fact they're not going to run the NFC North like they have done for the last 30 years with Rodgers and Favre. It's some lean times for Packer fans coming up.
Definitely. All right. We will now move on to Texans at the Jags.
Yeah. Texans at Jags. I like Stroud. I think he looked quite good in week one. Last week, he was asked to throw the ball 47 times. And as a defensive-led side, that's not what you want from your quarterback. You want to run the ball, play good defense. You can't be asking him to throw it 47 times. Jags, they need to improve this week. It's a really good get-right game. Lawrence missed a lot of open throws on third down in the end zone last week against the Chiefs. I'm expecting a big bounce-back game by Trevor Lawrence. Jags to win this one.
Yeah. I also have the Jags winning. As you said, CJ Stroud looks okay. I'm going to reserve judgment on him and the Texans, though I don't think much of them. As for the Jags, I think the flip side of what you were saying is the Kansas City defense is actually pretty good. It's going to be one of the better defenses in the league come the end of the season. But Trevor Lawrence must be better. There are a lot of talk, even from us, about them taking out the number one seed in the AFC. They've got to do much more than what they're doing. But if anyone's going to do it, it's the prince that was promised, Trevor Lawrence. So now we are moving on to the Battle of the Zeros. Chargers at the Vikings. The Chargers have a quarterback who scored the most points scored by a quarterback in this many starts in his career, and his defensive coach can't do anything on the defensive side. They need to sack him, and they need to get Harbaugh. I know you don't want to hear that, Pat, because you want Harbaugh to stay at Michigan, but he's going to. He needs to go, and I want him to go to the Chargers because I want to see Justin Herbert with someone who's competent and good as an offensive coach. And for the first time in 30-second drill history, I'm going to enact the overtime rule that I've just made up and allow myself an extra 30 seconds to rant about the Vikings. So, Kirk Cousins is out of contract at the end of the season. They should trade him now, and they should trade him to the Jets. The reason they should trade him is they should enter into the market to try and get a new quarterback to re-energize the Vikings franchise and get one of the top quarterbacks coming out now. This is their opportunity, and they should do it, and they should listen to me, but they won't.
Who are you taking?
Oh, sorry, I'm taking the Chargers.
Cool. I am taking the Vikings in this one. I think Staley's lost the locker room. You've got a defense with Khalil Mack, you got Joey Bosa, and you're just awful. I don't understand how it's happening. They fired Anthony Lynn, who had top 10 defense consistently. Staley, I think they're dead last in points right now. Like he's not good. He's got to go. They should have hired Brian Daboll when they had the chance to get it right. I'm also just going to keep talking for a little bit since Josh did. So as far as the Vikings go, I don't know what to make on Cousins. He's putting up all the stats, all the numbers that he needs to, but they're just not getting it done. I think Jefferson this week against Staley's vaunted defense, he could be looking to have 150, maybe even 200 yards. Massive, massive game by Justin Jefferson. I'm taking the Vikings because I just don't rate Staley at all, and he's ruining Justin Herbert. And this is probably the one thing we are both going to agree on for the rest of our lives. So
I think it will be. That'll be it then.
That's it. Good day.
So now we're moving on to the Panthers at the Seahawks. Take it away.
I will take it away. I'm going to take the Seahawks in this one. I think I have underrated the Seahawks. They didn't look great against the Rams. Maybe the Rams were better than I thought, but they beat up on the Lions, forced a few turnovers, forced a few fumbles. Gino put up 328 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think he can do that and a lot more this week against the Panthers if it's needed. As far as the Panthers go, they're looking awful. I don't want to be too critical of first-year quarterback, but they are not getting it done. It's worrying signs. Taking the Seahawks.
That's fair. I am also taking the Seahawks. The Panthers have 27 points for with an offensive coach and their first pick in the draft at quarterback, which they used. I'm not liking what I'm seeing there. As for the Seahawks, they look still pretty good. With the receivers of Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, they really assist Geno Smith. So does terrible 4th down call by Dan Campbell, which kind of shifted the whole thing. Twice, yes. But yeah, I'm taking the Seahawks in a game that I won't pay much attention to, if I'm completely honest. Now we're going on to the Cowboys at the Cardinals, where the Cowboys will win, and we'll have to hear about how they're going to win the Super Bowl because they've beaten the Jets, the Giants, and the Cardinals. Whoop-de-frickin-do, guys. That defense is absolutely elite, so all Dak has to do is not stuff up. It's pretty simple for him. He's got weapons. He can get it done. But the Cowboys will go as far as the 49ers will let them. As for the Cardinals, I'm going to say this one more time. I hope they don't get Caleb Williams because they will ruin him like they ruined their other first-round draft picks.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Just going to touch on the Cardinals quickly because who really cares? They were 21-0 up. They're going 0-17. I'd be more surprised if they win one game than if they don't. On to the Cowboys. They could win 50-3 this week, and it's still not going to look impressive because the Cardinals suck. My big question about Dak, though, is he going to try and start living up to his big contract? He does want an extension at the end of the year, so he's going to try and put up some stats and force the ball, or is he going to be content just letting everyone else sort of do the jobs and him manage the game? I am taking the Cowboys to win in a rout. Yeah. All right, next up we have the Bears at the Chiefs. This will be another rout. The Bears, they could have taken Patrick Mahomes in their draft. They chose not to. I think they took Trubisky. Someone fact check that for me. And Mahomes is going to remind them that it was the biggest mistake in NFL draft history, in any draft history, just overlooking Mahomes. It's a really big get-right game for them to get the offense clicking. Defense has stepped up. Now it's time for the offense to put the rest of the competition on notice. Chiefs to win by, I don't know how much, too many.
70.
Yeah, minimum.
I slammed the Bears last week, and rightfully so. And all I'm going to say is they have Carolinas and they have their first round pick. They allowed a coach and a GM who they weren't going to extend move up in the draft to draft a quarterback. They got a new coach and a new GM. This isn't their quarterback. So they're going to get rid of him at the end of the season, and they're going to pick a quarterback that can do something that you need a quarterback to do. Throw the ball. So don't be too pessimistic, Bears fan. It's going to be a long crap season, but you're going to get a new quarterback. Not even mentioning the Chiefs because they'll smash them, and then we'll start talking about the Chiefs properly. So we're going to move on to the Steelers at the Raiders. The Steelers need to figure out their offense. It's not looking great right now, but they do still have an awesome defense, which is really good for them, but it's not a Cowboys style defense. The Raiders, that's who I thought the Raiders were, not week one. that's who I expected they would be. I am taking the Steelers to beat the Raiders because I don't think they're that good. I don't think they're going to do anything with Jimmy G, and Devontae Adams is just going to get pissed off.
Yep. All right. The Raiders are awful, and I don't want to talk about them any further. The Steelers. I am very big on Kenny Pickett. I'm not sure if I've overrated him. If Matt Canada, the offensive coordinator, is just not putting the right calling the right plays, who knows? It's not looking good for them on offense, but the defense is scary. They will destroy Jimmy G. Hopefully he can at least get through the game healthy. We know his injury history, and this is not the team you want to be going against. To be honest, he's going to get sacked a lot, and I'm taking the Steelers.
Eagles at the Bucks.
All right, I will be taking the Eagles in this one. They're not looking like the NFC champions of last year, but they've done enough to win their 2 games. I think they need to get back to letting Jalen Hurts run the ball a little bit more. I think after he got the bag, they may be potentially trying to protect him, save him from himself. But you got to keep doing what works, and it worked last year. Got him right to the Super Bowl. The Bucks, 2-0. They've beaten the Bears and the Vikings. So either the NFC North is putrid or the Bucks are okay. I'm not sure which one it is yet. Taking the Eagles.
I have no idea. I'm also taking the Eagles. Their pass defense is pretty worrying at this point. As much as I am a big Mac Jones fanboy, like he slayed them, and Kirk Cousins slayed them. I don't know if Baker can. All I do know is the Browns would be better with Baker at quarterback than Deshaun Watson. I'm still shocked that the Bucks are 2-0. It makes no sense to me. I'm picking the Eagles. If the Bucks win, I'll just be so confused, utterly confused. We're moving on to the last game of the week, which is the Rams at the Bengals. So this is a huge game, and I'm very excited to see this. I'm not sure if Joe Burrow will play, but it's going to be a real litmus test to see where the Rams are at. Are they actually going to be a contender? Are they going to be a threat? Or are they just going to be another number? I'm backing the Rams in the win because I don't think Joe Burrow will play. But even if he did, the way he's played, I'd still pick the Rams. Big fan of Stafford, and they're looking pretty good, the Rams. I like them.
2 teams that matched up in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Joe Burrow was under immense pressure all that game. I think it's going to be very much the same if he plays. Running away from Aaron Donald on a sore calf that's not good. That's not good for anyone. I'm going to take the Bengals just because they have to have it. Whether Burrow plays or not, I think the rest of the team just have to step up, make some plays. Like gone out on a limb, but they've got to get it. As far as the Rams go, I don't know how good they are, how good they're not. They looked okay against the Rams. Against the 49ers, beat the Seahawks. Stafford just needs to protect the ball better, but I'm going to go to the Bengals.
Excellent. Well, thanks for tuning in again. This has been the 30-second drill with a sneaky little overtime tucked in. And we will be back next week. See you later.
See ya.